From the beautiful streets of Dubrovnik, Croatia, to the amazing landscape of Montenegro, Kotor Fortress, Skadar Lake, and the breathtaking Dormitor Mountains. The trip was 6 days long and every moment was memorable. But first, let's go back to day 1. We took a flight from Tel Aviv to Dubrovnik on Friday morning, and all we booked was the apartment for the first night. We immediately went out to explore the beautiful city, and we took an 8-kilometer kayak tour around the islands. It was kinda hard to paddle because Inbal, my partner, only took photos.
Where to next, Your Highness?
Follow the sun, and which way the wind blows when this day is done. Breathe in the air.
The next morning, we bought tickets for the bus that should take us from Croatia across the border into Montenegro to Kotor. We booked a beautiful apartment inside the old city. Besides the great restaurants and Aperol Spritz they have, I'd recommend climbing the 1300 stairs of Fortress of Kotor. It took us about 2 hours to get to the top. It was starting to rain and we had a long day. But when we eventually got there,
Follow the sun, the direction of the birds,
wow.
the direction of love. Breathe in the air. Cherish this moment, cherish this breath. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone. A brand new moon, brand new sun. When you feel life coming.
Day 3 started when we rented a car so we could go north to Tara River. There we ziplined across the Tara Canyon, a 1,050 meter zipline at a height of 160 meters and a top speed of 120 kilometers per hour. Luckily for the girls, they got stuck at the middle of the zipline because they weren't heavy enough, or that's at least what the instructor said. And they got to enjoy the view from the middle of the zipline right above the canyon for about 15 minutes. Instead of 1, just like me. Nevertheless, you have to do that. And if you have enough time, I'd recommend going down to the river and maybe even rafting there. The water is great. We ended the day going to a ski lodge in Jablizak. There we rented an amazing bongula, which is a fancy word for this funny looking house. The morning of day 4 was quite rough because it was kinda cold, but luckily the bongula had breakfast included in their warm and cozy restaurant. We ate breakfast and rushed to Dormitor Mountain. There we rented a bike and traveled around Black Lake. In my opinion, that was the most spectacular view I've ever seen.
gone, gone, gone. You're my backbone, you're my cornerstone. You're my crutch when my legs stop moving. You're my head start, you're my rugged heart. You're the pulse that I've always needed. Like a drum, baby, don't stop beating. Like a drum, baby, don't stop beating. Like a drum, baby, don't stop beating.
Because of the weather, it wasn't crowded, and when we went around the lake, we found this off-route place where it was completely silent, empty, no human, no noise, no traffic, just the sounds of the birds and waves crashing. I felt so bad flying my drone only because I didn't want to break that silence. We stayed there and stared at the lake for what felt like hours. We later went back to return the bikes and headed south to sleep in Rijeka, Skadar Lake. We got there way after dark, and it was a terrifying road. I wouldn't recommend driving there at night, but when we woke up, we understood what view we were missing. Fifth day started with the not so pleasant breakfast just by the lake. It wasn't pleasant because there were many bees there, and I've been traumatized since kindergarten. But that's a story for another day. Anyways, Vika and Inbal really enjoyed the breakfast, and afterwards we rented a boat for a beautiful tour that showed us Skadar Lake. I don't think I've ever seen something greener than this place. I was obviously dumb enough to go almost naked and swim in this unfamiliar place. But it was refreshing, and I looked like a model doing so. And I still don't know if he was kidding about the crocodiles in there, but I guess we'll never know. After the boat tour, we took a shower and left the village back to Tivat, where our plane back home is supposed to be at. But on our way back there out of the village, our car got stuck. But we were still having fun, so who cares?
דמיינו אותי עם שלט, רשום עליו anywhere. שנה לי לאן. טוב, זה כיף.
For our last 24 hours, we were looking for nothing but chill and beach. So we stayed at this fancy hotel called Palma Hotel. The hotel had a private beach, free spa, jacuzzi, delicious breakfast, amazing rooms, and the staff was amazing and friendly. For our last morning together, we planned to catch the beautiful sunrise, have a little swim at the beach, and eat a peaceful breakfast together before our flight back home. But we drank too much wine the night before, and we woke up like 1 hour before the flight, so all of these are just random pictures from Google, and we had to rush to the airport.